All right. Well, hey guys, it's Rebecca Ruth. Thanks for joining me here again today. Today I have Akyra Roan with me that I'm chatting with. Hey, Akyra, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. So happy to be talking with you today. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome, of course. I look forward to everyone getting to know you a little bit. So I like to jump right in, as everyone knows. So go ahead and tell us where you are and what you do in the industry.
Well, hey, I am in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm a hair artist. I work with all ethnicities, all hair textures, cutting, coloring, texture services, you name it. I have an emphasis on natural hair. I don't really do a lot of extensions or like hair weaves because I really want women and men to embrace their own hair and help it flourish and grow. So that is my focus, and also just recently I have been getting into holistic hair care. So with the focus on wellness, and so I like to use plant-based products if I can help it, and things that are vegan because I want to not only have your hair look great, but want you to remain healthy as well. And I believe you shouldn't have to sacrifice one for the other. So
Yeah, well, awesome. First of all, I like how you say hair artist, because I think being in the beauty industry, you're considered a creative as well. And I think that sometimes people don't think of hairstylists necessarily as artists. But so I like that you phrased it that way. And also, I'm all for the like vegan plant-based. I use, vegan plant-based products, make everything from makeup to hair products and stuff like that. So, do a little like education for the people real quick about like the importance of the products that you're using. And even because I think sometimes people, they think, well, because it's going on top of my skin, they don't realize that it also goes into your bloodstream and it can affect your inside too. So, not that I'm telling everyone to switch your products or anything. I'm just saying this is another
right.
person, advocating for plant-based products, so there might be something to it.
I mean, really, there is. I mean, the research has shown, and scientifically, we do absorb things through our skin, and the same is no different for hair. It's the same thing. You absorb things through your scalp. And when you are using things that have parabens or have all of these chemicals in them, that's going into your bloodstream, into your body, and then your health is affected. And it may not be immediate. It may, take time for those things to come to the surface with the different health problems and skin disorders that you could have. So I mean, plant-based things are they're healthier, and a lot of people have the false notion or the myth that a lot of times they are not effective and don't perform the way we want them to. And of course, that goes with anything. All of us have different hair, we have different skin. So what may work for one person may not work for you, but don't count it out all together. But I have to agree because we absorb these things through our skin. We really do. It would behoove all of us to switch over, even within like soaps and lotions and even makeup. And of course, that all translates to what we eat as well. So if we can keep our bodies as close to nature as possible, I believe we can live a healthier lifestyle, because I do believe that we are connected to our atmosphere and our earth in that way. And this plant-based products, they are really, they're making some traction. They are doing the best they can, as I see within many of the companies in the beauty industry, to get as close to 100% organic or plant-based as possible. Right now, it is almost impossible to find some things that are 100% organic, especially in particular hair color. I've been searching high and low to see what I can find to get as close as possible to being 100% plant-based, but I'm very pleased with how the industry and the beauty industry itself has shifted to a more naturalistic ideology to help people who are health conscious and want to really make sure they're not putting harmful things on their skin or in their bodies or, in their hair. And a lot of people do confuse vegan with organic or with plant-based. And vegan is just a product that does not have any animal byproducts. It hasn't been tested on animals. So that's another thing too, that I try to look for. If I can't get organic or plant-based, it's going to be vegan. And so making that shift has definitely changed my life. I feel like people care that I'm taking the extra step to make sure that they are still staying well and still being beautiful at the same time. So it's important to me to keep that focus in my business and my lifestyle.
Yeah. When I made the shift to like plant-based products about, I don't know, 5 years ago, I think it was, one of the things that I was hearing from a lot of people that I was talking to when I made the shift, and I think I experienced it first also, was like, well, it's not doing anything. It doesn't work like you said. And one of the things that I found out is that, sometimes like skincare, for example, hair care, you have to give it like a week or something, because your body, your body, your hair, whatever it is, has to kind of retrain because it's used to all those chemicals and everything like that. And so now it's like it's almost like you have to do a detox, and then
Yes.
so like deodorant was one, because I was using all the deodorants and stuff with the alkaline and all that stuff. Not alkaline, but what is it, the whatever's in the
Aluminum.
yes, aluminum.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
alkaline, aluminum.
Non-aluminum.
Yeah. And I shifted deodorant, and so of course, the first week you're a little funky.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I was. So I was like, reapply. I was like, this stuff does not work. I can't do it. But then
Right.
it's like, after a while, once my body like detoxed all of the nasty stuff, then now I was able to like, get used to the new stuff. So I always tell people now who talk to me about it, give it time. Your body, especially if you've been doing it for a long time, like, I went natural, so I stopped putting relaxer in my hair and stuff. Like, everything has to like shift, right? Has
Yes.
to shift to the new. So yeah, you got to think about like kind of retraining a muscle or something. It's the same concept. So like, stay patient, and just,
Right.
you might be a little funky for a little while if you do the deodorant. Maybe now's a good time to experience with new deodorant since you're at home. Nobody has
I
to
tried
smell
to see
you.
over this somewhere. So I'm on the deodorant search as well.
Since no one's smelling you right now, maybe it's a good time to try out a new deodorant. But yeah, this is not a pitch for any products, but I just thought it was cool that you said plant-based, so I wanted to talk about that for a little bit. But how long have you been a hair artist?
It's been 11 years this past July. And it's amazing because I'm only 29, but I've been doing hair since I was in high school. My high school has a cosmetology licensure program, so you can take it. I mean, as early back then, it was as early as ninth grade to get yourself acclimated, get started doing the book work of it, the theory side of it. So I've been doing it since then, and it's been amazing. And it's actually not a career path I chose at first at all.
I was actually going to ask you that. I was going to ask, is this like what you've always wanted to do? Like, how did you decide on this as a career?
It's not at all what I thought I would be doing. I'm supposed to be a social worker right now. I'm running a group home, which is something I still aspire to do. But I was college bound. I was a pretty great academically in high school. I actually got pregnant when I was a senior in high school, and that kind of shifted everything. My plans of going away to college were kind of halted. I did go to community college, but I didn't finish. I was getting an associate's degree in social work with plans to transfer to VCU to continue their social work program. Um, but because in 11th grade I had an internship with a local hair salon as part of my licensure program. I started working in 11th grade, and so I had already started learning the ins and out of the industry and working and making my own paycheck. And so this was for me a means to survive, because being a teen mom, it was difficult. I actually got kicked out of the house at 18. I was pregnant, and it was the week of graduation, and wasn't really getting along with my mother, my stepfather. We weren't meshing well. I'm an only child, so it was just me there. Didn't see eye to eye, so I got kicked out, and I continued to work up until I could have my daughter, my oldest daughter. And so for me, it was just survival. I was like, okay, I have this skill, I have this license, I can work, I can make money, so this is what I'm going to do. And then I tried to continue going to school online while I was working. And eventually, after a couple of years, I did take a break, and I didn't go back to school. I continued working and just building my craft. And the early years were hard, as a lot of people know. Even in other industries in the beauty industry, you have to kind of like start from scratch and really build. And like for the first few years, you're like poor, like you don't really have a client base. You don't, you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to build your skills, and so basically the first few years was survival. Like I loved making people feel good about themselves. I loved being able to provide a service that allowed me to be creative. I have a background in art. I love dance. I love all things artsy. So this is another outlet for me to be creative that I didn't realize that it was a creative industry. I never thought of it that way. In my mind, from my background, hair is just, hey, press and curl, something to show off, like look good for church on Sunday. Like it was not even a whole career path in my mind, even though I did have hairdressers in my family. I just saw it as, okay, this is just something cool I can do. I can make you look good. But after really realizing the potential it had for the freedom of creativity, freedom of your career. You could be an entrepreneur if you wanted to. That started to inspire me to reach farther than let me just make a paycheck. I now wanted to make a career out of it, because I saw the potential there. And not only are we doing hair, we are building relationships with people, and really making a big impact on people's self-image. And so I also saw this as my way to make my impact on the world. How can I touch someone? How can I bless someone? How can I help someone through the gift that God has given me to give? So it turned from survival to a career path, and me utilizing the gift that the Lord has placed in my life. Because I don't feel like anything just happens by happenstance, or just by coincidence. There's a reason behind everything. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm the same. Like, I don't believe that anything is coincidence, but I love that you see it as a calling, because I think a lot of times in the creative industry, we kind of just go through the motions, and we're just kind of doing the job, doing the career. But I think if you were really to be honest, very few of us see it as a calling to help others necessarily, and like dig deeper. We kind of look at the surface level stuff. Yeah, I'm doing her hair today, but it's like you as her hair, what did you say,
Artist.
hair artist, there you go. You as her hair artist, or his hair artist, I should say, the hair artist of the day, you might be the only person that person has to speak to, has to talk with. So when they come to see you, that's their kind of like counseling session a little bit with you. And sometimes, and that, we all know that. We all know we go to the hair salon,
Right.
we're just yapping away. We're hearing
listening to everything.
Right, you're listening to
and
everything.
being supportive.
I know, girl. Yep. Like all this stuff. So it's like, and it's like for some people, you're that person. You're that person who's gonna listen and be there for them. So I love that you see it, as a calling. I do want to touch on something like because there was a movie, maybe it's still on there on Netflix called Napoli Ever After with Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I actually didn't watch it. It's
Okay.
been on the list of to watch. It's crazy. Like I have Netflix, I have Hulu. I watch nothing. I don't have
Yeah.
time.
So
So it's like,
I'm with you
oh.
there because I watch things as long as it's before like 11. If you try to get me to watch something after 11, I'm passed out within 10 minutes. So really, people are like, "Oh, did you watch it?" I'm like, I mean, I started it, and like I fell asleep. So, but no, what I liked about that movie is because it kind of hit on something that we don't talk about a lot, like the psychology of hair,
Yes.
which that sounds crazy, but it's a real thing, right? Like how we get so tied, especially women. Men do too, but especially women, how we get so tied to our hair. And in that movie, it was so evident. It was like it kind of like boom hit me in the face, like the psychology of hair. And so, yeah, talk to me a little bit about that because it was I mean, when I cut my hair, I was like, I look like a boy. Like
Listen,
I went through
that
some
is
things.
real. And it is a whole psychology behind it. Even I feel like a lot of it is rooted in our culture too. And across different cultures, there is a significance behind the hair of not only women, but children, men too. How you wear your hair, how short or long is it? What colors do you keep it? It is a whole psychology behind it. And I know in particular, I can speak for Black women. We have sometimes love-hate relationships with our hair, and we're trying to figure out, okay, this is an extension of me. What is it supposed to look like? How can I help make it best represent who I am? And so when we cut it off, it's like, who am I? Like, who is that? And so I totally get it. Even when people are transitioning from relaxed hair to natural hair, it's like, because not only are you looking different, you're having to maintain a different texture of hair that you didn't have to deal with before. And some people have had relaxers since they were 3, and so it's just like you're relearning who you are, and getting to know this different person in the mirror. And sometimes that can be frightening and frustrating. And then a lot of times it's demeaning as well because of the media. It can, they have certain connotations with natural hair, or our family culture. They may feel as though women should have long hair, or your hair needs to be straight for it to be beautiful. And a lot of times that's that Eurocentrism, like that has caused us to believe that our hair is only beautiful when it's straight and altered. Um, and so coming to terms with that person, with the person who that you actually are. Okay, this is how my hair naturally grows out of my scalp. How can I learn to love that and be okay with that? Because that is who I am. This is a part of me. I don't have to alter myself to anyone's perception of what beauty looks like. And so we're having to learn that, and it's hard. And it starts honestly mentally. You have to be able to pretty much go against those thoughts that were already rooted in you, that were already instilled in you by the media, your family, whoever, that the way your hair naturally grows out of your scalp is not beautiful. So you have to kind of recondition yourself, like, okay, this is okay. I have products here now to use, which is wonderful because now like natural hair is like the thing now. But I think you and I know, like maybe about 10, 15 years ago, like, nah, you were nappy headed if you walked around like that. Like nobody wanted to talk about using juice and berries in your hair. Like nobody wanted to deal with that. Like it was not, you nappy headed, go do something with your hair. And so I'm just like elated that now 2020 there is a million lines for curly hair. It's a million, different lines for all different textures. Everybody's seeing themselves represented now, which is a beautiful thing. So I feel like the industry is catching up to what's going on. People are wanting to embrace their natural selves, and a lot of people call their call their transition a hair journey, because it is a journey to learning who you really are, who you want to be, or whatever you want to have represent yourself through your hair. So it definitely is a mental thing that you have to learn to embrace and, you know, renew your mind as to who you are.
Yeah, for sure. You know, when I first cut my hair, for example, I think my original plan was to transition to, you know, to natural and grow it out. But then I ended up loving the short hair. But it is funny because it wasn't a journey. It was a journey in the sense of it's almost like I carried myself differently all of a sudden with the different haircut, and I was like, well, I need to, you know, dress different maybe and like wear different accessories because now you're really seeing my face and like all this
Mhm.
stuff. So it's scary at first, but you know, once you kind of fall in love with it, you know, you have, I don't know, I now have a lot of fun with it, but yeah, it was rough at first.
Right.
It was not pretty at first, but yeah.
Understandable.
But yeah, so of course, you know that we're on the, you know, Worthy is on the platform of Runway to Life, which, you know, we've talked about mental health. Runway to Life, you know, deals with um, suicide prevention and then mental health awareness. So the things that we've talked about today fall, you know, really under that umbrella, I would say. But I would say that the last thing I want to ask you is, as a hair artist, um, how do you help, you know, your clients, even yourself, but, you know, your clients specifically, when they are coming to you and you're sitting there and you're hearing their stories all day long? First of all, how do you maintain self-care when you're kind of taking that on from them? And then how, as a hair artist, listener slash counselor, you know, how do you turn around and help them but still maintain yourself mentally and take care of yourself mentally?
I think in every career path, especially when you're working directly with people and you are in the relationship business, you struggle to have that work-life balance. So where you're still pouring out to the people you serve, but also trying to leave some for yourself in your cup is very hard. And I'm still walking through that. I really, honestly, I just try to spend time and meditate and pray and just ask God to really give me the strength and the wisdom and the things that I need to be able to serve the people in the way that I should. And like I was saying, you know, I am doing their hair, I am doing the service, but at the same time, we're building a relationship. So they're talking to me and they're telling me about their personal life, and a lot of times, you know, it's things that are stressors for them, things they're going through. And so I just try to be that encouraging word, that encouraging voice. I try to give them that motivation to really look within themselves, and try to be intuitive with themselves, and, you know, not the outside noise, not the outside stressors. So if I can be an encouragement in any way, I do that. And for myself, I try to do the same thing for myself. It's funny, I tell people all the time, it's like, you know, we have always have this so much advice and knowledge for and counsel for other people, but it's like, do we even listen to our own our own advice that we give out? And so now that I'm realizing that too, I'm like, okay, I need to take my own advice too. I need to be doing A, B, C, and D, like I just told this person, and being my own encouragement. Sometimes you do have to encourage yourself, and then also surround yourself with positive voices and people with a similar mindset to you, a mindset of success, people, a mindset of wellness, wanting to progress, just positive people, positive voices. I watch my environment a lot. I make sure I'm staying in spaces that serve me and that I can serve as well and not feel depleted, if that makes sense. So that means saying no sometimes. That means being unavailable sometimes, because if this situation or people or whatever it is does not you know, does not align with what I'm trying to do with my life, I have to reevaluate that and have to say no. And of course, there's no love lost. It's all love. You know, I send my wishes, I send, you know, good vibes, good love, but I'm not going to be a part of that. And so I'm learning how to be okay with saying no and staying in my own space that protects my mental peace, if that makes sense. So whatever I need to do to maintain my mental peace, I do that. So that way I can be in a good headspace for the people that I serve, people that I help. So we can just be positivity and love all around.
Awesome. I love that. Love that. I love how you said, all right, well, I'm not going to say verbatim, but when you're talking about, paying attention to the spaces that you're in, I like how you said that. So I like to pick up little nuggets from things that people say in these interviews. So that was a good one. So how do people get in touch with you? Where can they connect with you?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, www.facebook.com/wholeness hair. That's wholeness, WHOLENESS hair. Also on Instagram at ALR Hair VA. That's ALRHAIRVA. And I can also be emailed at wholenesshair@gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay. I just found you on Instagram and I'll put it with your bio when I post this. So thanks so much, Akyra, for chatting with me and for sharing a little bit about what you do and your calling, your mission, your heart. And, I just really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will talk to you soon.